this week's news roundup, water restrictions warnings possible in Nelson and ramped up in Tasman as drought bites, tributes flow for Eelco Bosjwik Senior, and young woman summonsed for making false sex attack complaint. Dropping river levels have triggered the need for a warning about possible water restrictions for Nelson residents who take their water directly from streams and wells. Council estimates this affects approximately 500 households, and they're being kept up to date with the situation by mail. Monitoring is continuing, and in the absence of significant or sustained rain, restrictions will be imposed under the Nelson Resource Management Plan within the next 2 weeks. This will mean affected residents, those taking water from wells and streams which breach trigger flows, low water levels, will be asked to take water only for the following purposes: domestic use, the water you need for your home, drinking water for animals, and firefighting as required. If streams go on to reach minimum flows, low water levels, water may only be taken for firefighting purposes. It's important to note that the restrictions don't apply to those on the reticulated supply, and water levels in the Maitai Dam, Maitai and Roding rivers are currently healthy. However, all residents are encouraged to always use water wisely. Meanwhile, drought conditions continue to bite across the Tasman district. The Council's Dry Weather Task Force convener Dennis Bush-King says that most critically salinity levels are increasing on the coastal margins of the Waimea Plains, and the continued decline in river flows as well as groundwater levels has resulted in a move to Stage 3 restrictions, a 50% cut in allowable takes. He says they're also introducing Stage 1 restrictions for the first time ever in the Wangapeka, Tapawera Plains, Baton and Stanley Brook. Dennis Bush-King says the decisions TDC has taken this week may appear confusing, as they'll have water management zones at various stages of restriction, from Stage 1, a 20% cut, some at Stage 2, a 35% cut, and still others at 50%. And the dry conditions shows no signs of abating. The Met weather forecast for the next 10 days indicates a continued stretch of clear sunny skies. And tributes have been flowing in for local icon and gentleman Eelco Bosjwik Senior, affectionately known by some as the benevolent Duke of Nelson, whose struggle for life ended this week after being unwell for some time. Eelco Bosjwik was the man that some might say brought culture to Nelson. His cafe at the top of Trafalgar Street, the Chez Eelco, was the iconic centre for good food and real coffee, as well as the place where so many people met, made friends, romanced, read papers, had jobs, held exhibitions, acted in plays, performed poetry, played chess, made music, among the long list of loved Chez activities. Eelco's love of arts and music transferred into his becoming a major benefactor of the arts in Nelson, theatre, wow and so much more. He'll be remembered as a generous spirit who was always ready with a smile and a twinkle in his eye. The public are invited to attend a memorial service for Eelco Bosjwik Senior on Saturday, March 16th at Old St John's in Hardy Street at 2 p.m. Those attending are asked to donate to the Sutra Art Gallery or to bring a bottle. And a woman who in February told police she'd been sexually assaulted after being picked up hitchhiking will now be summoned for making a false complaint. Following publicity of the alleged incident, a man came forward to police to assist with inquiries, and it's subsequently been established the woman's claim was untrue. Detective Senior Sergeant Wayne McCoy says complaints such as sexual assaults always received priority, and significant time and resources has been tied up investigating the complaint. He says to receive a false complaint is disappointing on several fronts.
Yes, unfortunately, on this occasion, one of the reported sexual assault cases has turned out to be a false complaint, which has wasted a lot of police time. Also the counselling agencies of SASH, who are very proactive in helping victims of sexual abuse. So it'll be disappointing for them as well as us. For a normal sexual abuse case, it can range in 100 to 300 hours of investigation time. So it was very disappointing in us, for the police and my staff, to find out that one of the complaints that we spent considerable time on is actually false. But that's now before the courts. It's fair to say that we encourage all victims of sexual assault to report it to the police, and it's the police job, my job and my staff's job, to elicit the truth, to find out actually what happened, and that's what we do.
It makes it tough for those who are making genuine complaints, doesn't it?
Yeah, the publicity around that may make them not want to make a complaint. It's a very traumatic time, even telling someone about what's happened to them. And I encourage all victims to report it to the police. The cases of false complaints are really a reality, and it shouldn't overlook the genuine complaints.
Exactly. And the other thing that's happened is that there are people in Nelson that have been fearing for their safety as a result of, these complaints, and with one of them being false, it confounds people in some ways.
It does. I mean, it puts out a false impression that Nelson isn't safe. It's fair since Christmas time there has been 3 stranger sexual assaults. This was the 4th one reported at the Mai Tai, which has turned out to be false. The Victory Square, we've actually now before the courts, and the Queen's Garden and the one next to it is still under investigation at the present point in time, and I'm confident we'll get a resolution to that.
Just on the issue of women taking up self-defence classes and things like that, there've been some free classes offered. Would you still recommend that?
Well, even not just for sexual assault, for assaults, anything like that is good morale building. But as I said, Nelson's really a safe place. If you look at the amount of people that live here and our crime, it's pretty low and it's decreasing. But we do have these heightened reports of sexual assault that happens from time to time.
Detective McCoy says the police investigations into 2 other sexual assaults in the Bridge Street Queen's Gardens area of the city was ongoing, and police were still awaiting forensic results. A landowner whose arborist illegally felled 110 trees in a reserve near Kaiteriteri in 2012 has this week been fined $36,000. Arrowtown man Michael John Davies, whose family wealth is estimated at $90 million, was this week found guilty of employing an arborist who in February last year cut down 110 trees next to his large holiday home at a reserve on Stevens Bay Headland. He was this week fined $36,000 plus solicitors and court costs. And the Nelson School of Music and the Nelson Historic Theatre Trust have confirmed commitment and welcome plans for a joint future with the Nelson City Council. The council proposed in last year's long-term plan to take over the ownership of both the Nelson School of Music and the Theatre Royal buildings, who have long histories with our city. The trust boards of NSOM and NHTT have now agreed to the transfer of ownership of the venues to council, and council will be responsible for maintaining the buildings and also set aside funding towards the upgrade for earthquake strengthening and refurbishment of NSOM. Nelson Mayor Aldo Michio says the venues are fantastic pieces of Nelson heritage and an important part of our community for so many people.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic that we finally got this initiative up and running. The Heritage Trust, Theatre Royal and the School of Music are 2 fantastic pieces of Nelson's heritage, and working together now collectively with council and with integrated governance means that there'll be cost savings, and there'll be ways for us to actually utilise and get better yields from both those facilities. So it's going to be win-win for everyone. It's win-win for those organisations, and it's also a win for the community. Council will take over ownership of both those buildings. So council will own those buildings and look after the costs associated with those buildings, and it'll be a single governance structure that looks after both those buildings, and it forms the beginning and a part of the process of the Go Nelson campaign, which is to bring all of our key event infrastructure under one umbrella, and eventually we can work closer together in terms of marketing and management of these facilities, so that we can get better bang for our dollar, for the ratepayer dollar, and those facilities will be able to get better usage, better patronage, and all in all, it's a great outcome for the community. It's what's happening in other centres around New Zealand. It's something that's about 10, 15 years ago in a lot of other centres. It means that collectively you can do a lot more together, as opposed to having separate governance groups running separate organisations all over our region.
And a National Day of Action against asset sales called Power to the People is planned and will take place in Nelson on April 27th at 2 p.m, with over 600 people already indicating they'll be attending. And after the break here on Mainland Television News, property market buoyant and dogs day out.
TV in the South Island goes digital on 28 April. If you don't have Freeview, Sky, Igloo or Telstra Clear TV by then, this is what you'll see on your TV.
Hi, I'm Duncan from Health 2000 Nelson and Richmond. At Health 2000, we are the experts in your good health and well-being. If you have questions about natural health, we can answer them. Health 2000 Nelson, Motueka, and our Richmond Mall store is now by the new entrance.
How happy are you with the quality of your digital prints? And how safe are those precious memories stored on your computer? Hi, I'm Simon from Nelson City Cameras. Quality 6x4 prints are easy using one of our 8 photo kiosks. Join our loyalty club and print 30 photos or more, and the photos are only 39 cents each. As a member, you also get 50% off enlargements and other great benefits. But wait, there's even more. Our user-friendly kiosks allow you to create photo books, photo gifts, and even canvases. If you need a digital camera, binocular, tripod, we have a great range and selection, and our advice is free. We have a fantastic range of photo albums and picture frames to suit your needs and your budget. So print your memories, don't hide them, relive them. Come in and meet the team at Nelson City Cameras, Nelson's most experienced camera shop. 25 years serving Nelson.
FAV Mobile Solutions are the scooter, walker and wheelchair specialists for the Nelson region. Call in and see the huge range available. Take one for a free test drive and pick up your free booklet guide. They also provide a rescue service if you ever get a puncture or a flat battery. Come in and see Robin and the friendly team at FAV Mobile Solutions in the Richmond Free Car Park opposite the Old Town Hall.
The property market remains buoyant around the country, with the national mean asking price expectation amongst sellers having risen 0.7% in February to a new high of $443,000. The latest New Zealand property report shows there were asking price increases in 13 regions last month, including in Nelson, where the asking price rose 7.3% compared with the previous month to $455,000. Meanwhile, the number of new listings also grew 13.5% in Nelson, with 301 houses listed on the market in February 2013. And last week we reported in our news that Carter Holt Harvey's plans have been axed over the LEH Bagent Domain subdivision by the Environment Court's decision released last Friday.
The Carter Holt Harvey result has come through from the Environmental Court. It's good news for the Tasman District Council and, I guess, for the Tasman residents.
Absolutely. Look, it's been over 3 years, so it has been a very long time, and look, I think I heard the yells of delight from the Tasman community from here in Richmond. Yeah.
Now, I believe some of the report, I've read it, it seems a bit scathing of the Carter Holt proposal, really.
Well, I guess, you know, they've got to take certain things into consideration, and the Environment Court didn't need to beat around the bush at all. They were very clear in their decision that nothing they'd proposed would mitigate or lessen any of the negative impacts of the proposal.
I find it kind of odd that someone would propose a subdivision with removable houses, because in the future they would have to be removed.
Yes, look, it's probably a newer thing. We're seeing increasingly the effects of erosion and sea level rise, and I guess that was their attempt at mitigating the impacts, but you know, the Environment Court said, well, the effects are just too big. You know, there will be impacts from inundation, coastal erosion. It'll impact at least half of the dwellings. We don't think the removal is going to be feasible at all.
No, and of course this is an interesting situation now that Carter Holt are left with. Their property is still on the market for $2 million. Who's going to buy that?
Possibly someone who hasn't read the Environment Court decision. Look, anyone who has, I think, you know, it wouldn't be the most sound investment for them, but people buy property for different reasons. Someone might buy it for an altruistic reason. You know, the domain is about 75% of the total land area. There could still be one property there. But yeah, if you are looking at developing, this isn't the section for that.
So when you say there could be one property there, do you think anyone's going to get consent to be able to build there?
Well, there will be certain rights of what can go there by right. So the existing batches that are there, they were there of rights from 40 years ago. So there is building of right that you can have. It was the subdivision was the problem.
And of course, now that leaves the big question on council, and a lot of Tasman residents will want to know, are council going to consider taking on the LEH Bagent domain as a public reserve?
Well, I think one of the aspects that has been raised to me by people in the Tasman community is there was the consideration of costs, and Judge Dwyer left open that council could go for costs. And one of the things that was said to me was, would council consider the domain in lieu of costs? So we can't really rule anything out at this stage. We'd have to analyse what are those different costs. Judge Dwyer himself actually said the ongoing costs, Carter Holt Harvey claimed to spend $40,000 to $80,000 a year on the domain. He also said that the ongoing access to the domain is not going to be there. So there's a lot of considerations for council as well.
And of course, with the Carter Holt Harvey wanting to put money towards the maintenance of the road for the subdivision, that would then mean that council could feel obliged to upkeep and maintain that road.
Absolutely, and that was one of the other areas of the ruling where they said ongoing access wasn't going to be feasible, because even if Carter Holt Harvey spent money towards the upgrade, the ongoing costs were really not feasible because of the impact of sea level rise. So there's still, it's a battle won, but it's probably not the end of the story at all.
No. Well, Judine, Edgar, thank you for your time today. It's an interesting situation, and we should all watch with interest.
Thank you, Chrissy.
And there's no longer to be a Million Paws Walk Day this year, as Nelson's SPCA manager Donna Waltzall and her team have been busy organising this inaugural SPCA family event featuring the family dog under a different title for the month of March. Chrissy Small went to the Nelson SPCA in Waimea Road to speak to Donna about what they have on the event horizon.
Donna, you've got a big event coming up on the 17th of March. Can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. We've got a fantastic Dogs Day. So it's a real fun event. It's for the whole family, and obviously bring along your canine companions. It's going to be lots of entertainment for the kids and for the dogs. We do a bit of a short walk first, and then we come back and we meet, and there's a dog agility demonstration by the Nelson Dog Training Club. So that's lots of fun for everybody to watch, and people can have a go afterwards as well if they like.
Are dogs of all shapes and sizes?
Absolutely, and you can come as your best dressed as well. So if you want to enter the look-alike competition, you can dress up. It's a huge amount of fun. So it's all fun categories. There's a Golden Oldie section as well, which you can win a year's supply of Canine Plus from O to Be Healthy, which is a really fantastic prize sponsored by them. So yeah, it's going to be heaps going on. It's going to be some neat sections, and it's all about having lots of fun. So yeah. Come along.
And okay, so if people have got well-behaved dogs, what if they're not so well-behaved dogs?
Yeah, we certainly prefer well-behaved dogs. There is a lot of space around, so you can spread out, but yeah, please do bring your well-behaved dogs.
Right. And now we've got a few dogs here up for adoption. How many have you got here at the kennel so far?
We've probably got about 10 here at the moment looking for homes. Yeah, again, all shapes, mostly bigger sized dogs. We have got some small puppies around about 6 or 7 weeks, so they're not quite ready, but they will be in the next 2 weeks or so.
Right, okay. So if you're looking to bring a dog, if you don't have a dog, you want a dog, they've got the dogs here, so you can bring them out on the 17th of March.
Absolutely. Come along to the Dogs Day out at Isle Park.
What time?
From 10 o'clock.
Great.
Waimea Telecommunications, specializing in free-to-air satellite TV, computer cabling, telephone systems, wireless and broadband internet installations. Call Julian Toon on 544-4203.
Thought you were too old for laser vision correction? If you're between 40 and 65, you may still be eligible. Laser blended vision is a new treatment, offering you freedom from glasses and contact lenses. Get a suitability assessment or a brochure now. See more clearly. See the Eye Centre.
If you have a digital TV and you're watching Mainland Now, you should be able to switch between the digital and analogue TV channels, including mainland TV. Most digital TVs can switch between the digital and analogue TV channels. If you need help tuning into the new digital TV channels, please give us a call. Nelson TV and Video Services, 41 Halifax Street, Millers Acre Car Park.
The countdown is on with only 8 weeks to go when analogue TV channels are being turned off on April 28th. Mainland TV has been digital alongside Freeview since 2011. Mainland TV is also on Sky's Igloo and Freeview terrestrial set-top boxes and digital TVs, so make sure you're tuned in to the new digital TV channels before April 28th. See our website for details. And the Merchant Navy Association is holding its March meeting at the Nelson Suburban Club on March 11th at 1:30 p.m. All past and present merchant seamen are most welcome. And the Romans are coming. Well, it's really the Roman Machines, which is an extraordinary exhibition of Julius Caesar, military genius and mighty machines, which will be here in Nelson's Provincial Museum and is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to explore the empire that shaped the world, which begins on April 6th until June 30th. On at Nelson's Provincial Museum on the corner of Trafalgar and Hardy Streets, open from 9:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. daily. And on behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thanks for joining us. Have a safe weekend, and we'll be back again next week with the latest in news events from around the region.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.
Mandy Computing welcomes you to our new location at 124 Vanguard Street, Nelson. We offer an extensive product range of computer, hardware and software. We supply, install and service, provide support contracts. Over 30 years of expert advice for home and business customers. Come and see Murray, Steve, Fraser and Denise. Give us a call, 5468045. Mandy Computing, we have megabytes of experience.
Nelson Tire Center. Great prices, great service. Buy your own Bryford trailer. All types, all sizes. See Colin Douglas for your tires and batteries.
In the centre of Mapua is a magical shop called Tasman with a whole lot of attitude. You will see bags from Italy and France, jewellery from Israel, beautiful quilts from Kashmir, Angora throws, furniture and cushions, wonderful products from all over the world and New Zealand made. The customers are saying they could stay all day. Call out and see the friendly staff at Tasman's, the village centre, Mapua, open 7 days.
Hi everyone, you're tuned to Mainland Radio 1 Digital and to your local FM radio station. I'm Larry London from VOA Music Mix, bringing you news on the hour from around the world, plus music 24/7, from the latest hits to those classic favorites to jazz on Saturday mornings, plus much, much more. You can contact us by Googling Mainland TV or follow us on Facebook. Cheers from the team at Mainland Radio 1 and VOA Music Mix.
If your eyesight is getting you into trouble, call the Wellington Eye Centre. We use some of the most advanced technology in the world. The Eye Centre. We'll get you seeing clearly.
How happy are you with the quality of your digital prints? And how safe are those precious memories stored on your computer? Hi, I'm Simon from Nelson City Cameras. Quality 6x4 prints are easy using one of our 8 photo kiosks. Join our loyalty club and print 30 photos or more, and the photos are only 39 cents each. As a member, you also get 50% off enlargements and other great benefits. But wait, there's even more. Our user-friendly kiosks allow you to create photo books, photo gifts, and even canvases. If you need a digital camera, binocular, tripod, we have a great range and selection, and our advice is free. We have a fantastic range of photo albums and picture frames to suit your needs and your budget. So print your memories, don't hide them, relive them. Come in and meet the team at Nelson City Cameras, Nelson's most experienced camera shop, 25 years serving Nelson.
Everybody has a story that needs to be told. At the time of death, we reminisce, we honour, we remember.
My family have been helping Nelsonians tell their stories with respect and dignity for over 4 generations.
I'm proud to be part of the next generation that recognises every life is valued and meaningful.
I promise that my professional and qualified funeral directors at Marsden House will assist you when you need it most.
Talk to Marsden House about how you or your loved ones can be remembered.
The majority of information in our life comes to us through our vision. With only one set of eyes to last our lifetime, it's important that you look after them. For over 20 years, Physique Harrington Eye Care has led the way in providing the Nelson Tasman region with professional eye care. Our team are committed to providing you and your family with the highest standard of eye care. As part of this commitment, at Physique Harrington Eye Care, we recommend Crizal lenses. Crizal is a revolutionary lens which repels dust and fingerprints. This means it's easier to clean and stays cleaner longer. Visit us at our Nelson, Richmond and Stoke practices and ask about our Crizal satisfaction guarantee.
Hi, I'm John Crouch from Crafer Crouch Construction. We're general contractors here. We specialise in drainage, earthworks, concrete, gravel supplies. We have our own mobile crushers. So for all your contract requirements, call us on 5783 475 Blenheim or in 5736 119 Picton.